I'm going to talk about symbiosis in this segment between producers, consumers, and decomposers in an ecosystem. An ecosystem consists of three components: producers, consumers, decomposers. The first one, because it's the base of every food chain, is the plant or the producers. What are they producing? They are producing their own food. They are also known as the autotrophs. Auto means self and trop means fed. So they feed themselves. They make their own food by photosynthesis, the opposite of what would be the consumers. They eat to survive. They are also known as the heterotrophs. Hetero means the other and trop means fed. So they are fed by others. Herbivores and carnivores are the good examples of consumers. Herbivores are plant eaters. Carnivores are meat eaters. Omnivores eat both meat and plants. Then we have decomposers, whose role is to break the dead matter and return the nutrients to the soil. Decomposers are the recyclers in an ecosystem. They are playing really a very important role. All the above said factors are built on relationships, better known as symbiosis. Symbiosis means living together. Sym means together and bio means life. Symbiosis can be grouped into four forms. Number one, mutualism. Number two, commensalism. Number three, parasitism. Number four, mimicry. Let us see what mutualism is all about. Let us take an example of a bumblebee visiting a flower. In this relationship, the bumblebee gets fed and the bumblebee transports pollen so that the flower can reproduce. That is the win-win relationship or winning relationship. Mutualism is a positive reciprocal relationship between two species. Mutualism can be also called as dependence, in which both organisms live together in close proximity and in which both generally derive benefit. Number two, commensalism. What it's all about. Let us take an example of a moss that is hanging on a tree. The tree really doesn't care about it, but the moss gets a place to live. That's a win, and the tree doesn't care. Commensalism means literally a table together. Commensal organisms share their food from a common table. This is a symbiotic relationship between two species in which one species benefits and the other neither benefits or harms. Commensalism is a win-neutral relationship. Let's come to parasitism, what it's all about. Let us take an example of a mosquito. It's a parasite. It's feeding on a human, and a human would be considered the host. So the parasite is feeding on the human, sucking his blood and getting its food, and the host is losing his blood and left with malaria. So this is called the win-lose relationship. Win for the parasite and the lose for the host. Parasitism, sometimes it's violence. Parasitism is a symbiotic relationship between two organisms in which one species benefits for growth and reproduction to the harm of the other species. It must be emphasized that parasite and host interact, and that excessive harm done to your host, which makes it less competitive, also endangers the survival of the parasite species. When this thing happens, it is known as negative relationship. Violence begets violence. Both organisms would be losing in this situation, and they would have vested interest in breaking up that relationship. Neither is winning. So they might go their separate ways. Some ecologists consider competition as an example. Competition could be a lose-lose relationship where two organisms are going after the same resource. They both would lose in a tight competition, so competition usually tries to break apart. The last one is mimicry. What it's all about. Let us take an example of a gypsy hunter. He makes bird calls to lure the birds and succeeds in hunting them. Species of all types, including humans, use mimicry or deception. Deception in nature is used both to acquire dinner and to survive, not to become dinner. There is a remarkable variety among mimicry cases in nature. Mimicry exists in most animal classes and also in many plants. Mimicry is a form of symbiosis where a species may mimic the colors, patterns, or even behavior of another species for one of two reasons: either to be able to get closer to unsuspecting prey, or in the case of a harmless species, or to gain protection by imitating a predator or poisonous species. There are hundreds of wonders in an ecosystem, hundreds of relationships, hundreds of mysteries. As we learn more about ecosystem, as we continue to explore, I think we can find lots of miracles, lots of knowledge. Let us learn about ecosystems so that we can act efficiently with them. Thank you.